Before dawn, the storm tide spilled across the low crossing to the nesting island. The water reached the old shell mark before it should have. 12 marsh-rail chicks were stranded there. They could walk, but they were too young to fly.
Then we use the low crossing. It goes straight to the island.
Maybe. First tell me when the water takes it. The question was not which path looked shortest. It was how long each path would stay usable. The low crossing floods at 42 centimeters. The ridge lasts to 75.
Once I gather them, they can walk 20 meters each minute. And the low crossing is still shorter.
Yes. Now we check whether shorter is fast enough. Ren had 2 readings from the same tide staff, 8 minutes apart. I wrote down 18 centimeters at 7. At 7:08, it was 30. So the tide rose 12 centimeters in 8 minutes. That is 1.5 centimeters each minute, or 0.015 meters. If it keeps rising at the same rate. Right. That is our estimate. We will test a faster tide too. At 7:08, the water was 30 centimeters high. Each route had a different flood level. The low crossing floods when the staff reaches 42 centimeters. The ridge stays above water until 75 centimeters.
So the low crossing has 8 minutes left.
"8 minutes to gather the chicks and get all the way across." Tella's map matched the terrain, along the bank, then up to the ridge. The shortcut cut diagonally across. On the map, 3 centimeters along the bank, then 4 up to the ridge. Three squared plus 4 squared is 25, so the diagonal is 5 centimeters.
At 40 meters per centimeter, that is 200 meters.
The ridge follows both legs, 7 centimeters, or 280 meters. Distance was not enough. They also had to count travel time and the minute-and-a-half sedge needed to gather the chicks.
200 meters at 20 per minute takes 10 minutes. Gathering adds 1.5. 11.5. The crossing floods in 8. We would be late. The ridge takes 14 minutes to walk, plus 1.5 to gather.
kit tested the part of the plan most likely to be wrong, the tide rate. Now make the tide 20% faster. Then the low crossing has about 6.7 minutes.
The ridge still has 25 minutes. Our ridge trip needs 15.5. 9.5 left.
Good. We take the ridge. Now 12 small bodies had to move at the same pace they had used in the calculation.
Four. All 12. Stay behind my tail.
Left at the pale stones. That section is still dry.
Keep the line together. "12. Nobody dropped back.
Fallen reed at the bend.
The detour cost 1 minute. We still have 8.5.
The fallen reed used 1 minute of their 9.5 minute margin. 8.5 remained.
The shortcut is underwater already.
And we would still have been on it for 3.5 more minutes. One chick tired on the last stretch, so Tella checked the plan at a slower walking rate. One chick is slowing. Check 16 meters per minute.
"280 divided by 16 is 17.5. Add gathering, 19. The faster tide window is 25. 6 minutes left.
The ridge still worked in both stress tests, a faster tide and a slower flock.
The shortcut really was shorter.
Yes. It was also 3.5 minutes too late.
All 12 are here.
Then we have time for one small dance.